Welcome guys, it's your boy Living Sunset, aka Michael here. So, with the new update that's been rolling in, version 2.2 of Genshin Impact, there has been a new island that's been implemented into the world, and a little like new domain, but it's not like an artifact domain or whatnot, it's just like a regular domain that you just beat once and that's it. Other than that, there's been some other updates that have came out on the patch notes, but if you put that aside and you look at the really subtle changes that aren't listed in the patch notes, you may have noticed that there have been some like quality of life changes. Right off the bat, what I've noticed is that when you log into Genshin and you're at this loading screen, as soon as you enter, it loads very quick. It's not like before where this took a while to load, especially when it comes on mobile. Like, that loaded very quick, less than 5 seconds. I want to say like 3 seconds. And the loading times in this game for like the entire world of Teyvat have increased, or decreased rather, by a good amount. For example, we're gonna go to Inazuma from Mondstadt, right? Which it usually takes some time to teleport. So we're gonna go to the Statue of the Seven, and not even finishing the sentence, we're already here. Okay, so let's go to Leeway now. Let's go to like some random domain. Azdaha. Yeah, I'd say it's like pretty faster. I'd say a tad faster. We go to the boss domains. This one's Dvalin. That one kind of seemed a little less fast, but let's say we go to like a teleporter, right? A random teleporter. Falcon Coast. Yeah, that is way faster. For example, when you go to Abyss, let's say we abandon that. When you go into Abyss, and let's say we're gonna do floor 12, right? Or whatever floor. You set up a team, or you just set up your individual team. Let's say just a random team here. And that. You notice that the loading time for Abyss is actually faster now too. It's not even just the teleporters and like the Statue of the Sevens, the domains, it's also the loading time for the loading screen when it comes to entering the world of Teyvat, or where you were before you logged out, and Abyss itself. So we're now here in Abyss, and if we leave, it's very fast. We go back in from the overworld, continue, and it loads under 30 seconds, which is very fast. That's good. There's another cool quality of life change here to where if you go over to multiple items, for example, we're gonna go over to these berries over here. The pickup time speed for these berries in just like other things in general has increased. And we see all these items up on the floor, right? Now the pickup time speed is faster, which is pretty amazing. I like that. Like, that's a really good quality of life change. If we go to Inazuma City, right? And let's say this is your favorite spot. For example, this is one of my favorite spots, right? With the cherry blossom. And I sometimes do my wishing here. And I want to be able to use my time, right? To go to midnight. Because that's like my favorite wishing time for like all the stars come out and stuff. And like the whole wish upon a star thing. And let's say I change the time and I'm like, okay, I'm here at midnight. I'm here for my little ritual. And we got the Milky Way, right? But what happens if the Milky Way wasn't there? Usually there's like a sky where there's no stars on, or there's stars, but there's no Milky Way. Then we could go to the time now and we could actually double up our time to change that. So now the time limit for our clock is doubled. So if you wanted to do something such as a quest where you need to wait the next morning, sometimes those quests, you have to like do double the amount of time stuff, or like double the amount of clock moving. Now, instead of doing that, you could do it all in one go, and you could just straight up use the time clock to basically do that in one sitting. You don't have to exit and then go back into the time thing again and then reset the clock into whatever time you need to do. They've doubled it up for certain quests that like require for, hey, You need to be at this certain time at this certain spot, and then you gotta move the clock and it doesn't go all the way, and you gotta do it a second time around. Now it's changed, so the time intervals for the clock, it's all doubled up now, so you don't even have to worry about that. If you're accidentally one of those people who are like on mobile, for example, and you're doing the touchscreen stuff, and you accidentally click Timaeus, or even when you're on PC and you accidentally scroll and then the first thing that pops up is Timaeus rather than the crafting bench, if you talk to him now, there's an option to use the crafting bench. Before, it used to be like the Mondstadt bar thing over here, where you would enter and then you accidentally go to the missing poster thing instead of like entering the door. That was the same thing with Timaeus. His dialogue would pop up and there was no interaction between him and the crafting bench. Now, when you go back to Timaeus and you go back to the crafting bench and you're like, oh shit, now I gotta go talk to Timaeus again. I accidentally clicked them. Now you could just craft via him. He'll just show it to you. When the crystals over here were first introduced, you may have noticed that it was at the very top of the list. Meaning that if you accidentally misclicked and you fucked up, and these crystals, they only take like 5 seconds to produce, so they're very fast. If you accidentally misclicked and clicked the top crystals instead of like, you know, you wanted to do just regular crystal chunks because you're a miner and you like farming for these, but you accidentally clicked this at the very top of the list, then that means you just wasted 10 resin, which is a lot in my opinion. 10 resin could be the difference of you completing a boss before the Sunday update into the Monday reset. And let's say you're doing that last minute and you're crafting crystals and you accidentally misclicked this and you couldn't, you know, refresh because you didn't have enough primos. You missed your last boss for your Sunday reset going into Monday. And that's pretty big. So now, what the Genshin team did as a quality of life change is that they updated it to where instead of being at the very top of the list, now it's back down with the Mystic enhancement ore. So you see this one goes first, and then this one, and then now it's this. Okay, so another big quality of life change that came in is that the artifacts cap has been increased. Meaning that this was also in the patch notes. This was something that has been announced. Like I've known it, a lot of people have known it. The artifact cap was set at 1,000. Now it's at 1,500, so we get plus 500 on the artifacts, which is good because I have hidden the cap a couple of times. Or while we're at Mondstadt right now, if we go over to the souvenir person, right, Marjorie, if you're an endgame player like me, and you basically, you know, 100% did everything in Mondstadt. We don't have those sigils anymore to turn into her for Mora because we bought out the entire shop and we don't have any more sigils. Now, if we go into her dialogue, there's another option here that says, I'd like to get some special souvenirs, please. And if you miss the Windbloom update, which was 1.4, then you miss getting all these cool souvenirs that came with the event. But for people who have missed the Windbloom Festival event, you can now buy these souvenirs for a good 150,000 Mora. That's like 2 ley lines, a little more than 2 ley lines, which isn't too bad, but that's condensed resin, right? So now you can buy all the stuff such as the balloon, the lyre, where you could do the cool note things for the rhythm game coming up, and you could get the ball now. Okay, if we go into the Realm Depot, right, or the Realm Depot, and we go to a recipe that we want, right? Like, let's say we have a lot of like Inazuma stuff now, a lot of Inazuma themed things that we could buy. And let's say I just want to buy like, okay, I'm going to buy one of these. And I want to buy one of these. And you're going to think to yourself, oh, I got to exit out, go into my inventory just like the old days. And I'm going to have to learn the recipe and then go back into the Realm Depot, go to the crafting thing, and then craft everything. Well, a cool quality of life now is that when you go into crate furnishing, it says yet to be learned, and we just bought these recipes, right? So we got to go back into our inventory and learn them first, and then we could craft them. Now it's a little different. We could learn it in the forging queue, in the creation tab of the forging thing. In the teapot, we could learn them. See, we learned them here. We don't have to go into our inventory. And then we could use whoever, and we could just craft them right here. Look at that. There's so many like quality of life things that could be improved later when it comes to the game, but for right now, really thankful for all the quality of life changes that have happened, and just really looking forward to the future of the game. And when it comes to just MiHoYo listening to their community, because like that stuff matters, and I'm glad that some of these changes have happened. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe down below if you guys want more. Constantly trying to upload more videos, not just with Genshin, but that's what we're remaining right now. Definitely gonna upload more stuff when it comes to other games. So yeah.